the merry-go-round of transfers, and certainly as we build up to the summer transfer window, Newcastle United are again linked with everybody. Literally every player in the world right now, Newcastle United are linked with. And, you know, it's pointless me sitting here going through every single player that we are linked with. So I've had a look at the various news reports today, and there is some confirmed news, as you can see on the headline there, that we have had scouts in Germany. So we will take a look at that. The Premier League Awards, the nominations have been announced, and we do have players and management involved in that. And I do want to talk about this thing about what is a big club, because a lot of people have been arguing for the last couple of days on Twitter and various social media about what is a big club. So I'm going to have me say on that, and then finish off with Garang Kuol. What on earth is going on with the Aussie kid, and what is reportedly going to happen next season with him. So let's dive in, guys. Hi everybody, I'm Paul. Welcome back to the Daily News on the Toon Review YouTube channel. And first of all, I'd like to thank everybody for recently subscribing. Welcome to all the new subscribers on the channel. As you see there, we've jumped well up to nearly 19,200 now already, which is fabulous. So if you are new to the channel, guys, and you do like what you see, please do hit that subscribe button. Completely free to do so. Lots of shows like this and live shows on an evening as well to get stuck into. So come and join this wonderful community. And please don't forget to hit that like button and the notification bell as well, which will let you know when we go live or we upload any videos. So thank you very much in advance for that. Now, we're going to start off with obviously the headline there, scouts in Germany. It's been reported by various outlets that Newcastle United have had scouts watching Leipzig, and especially their recent 2-0 loss to Leverkusen. Two players are standing out amongst who they are looking to scout, and that is Dominik Szoboszlai and Amadou Haidara. Now, Szoboszlai we have spoke about in transfer shows before, and possibly even Haidara. They have been linked with us before. Now, these two are midfielders, and very, very, very good midfielders at that. Champions League experience, good ages. I mean, Szoboszlai is only 22. He's apparently worth £40 million. There is no value yet on Haidara, so I haven't read anything about what he will be worth. But I can imagine it probably in between 30 and 40 as well, because he's a superb player. Now, this is a little different for us because we're looking in, obviously, Germany is somewhere where we haven't looked a lot in the past. You look at the likes of the players that have come out of Germany. You've got Bellingham there, who's pretty much, I think, going to Madrid. You've had Aubameyang come out of there. You've had, obviously, Haaland. So there's been some good talent, and there is some very, very good talent playing in the Bundesliga. It is, for me, one of the strongest leagues in Europe. When it comes to individual players. Yes, Munich have had the better of it for a long time, but not so much this season. It's changing a little bit. And there's a lot of talent at a very, very vast array of clubs in the Bundesliga. And Leipzig, I do follow the Bundesliga quite a lot, I have to say. Everybody knows that Leverkusen are my favourite team, so a Diaby coming to Newcastle would be an absolute dream. But I've seen a lot of Leipzig, and I've seen a lot of Szoboszlai and Haidara. And I can only say, if this is true, if we are scouting them, now I've no reason to doubt these reports that they've seen scouts in the ground from Newcastle United. Newcastle have actually said they've got scouts there. So I have no reason to doubt the reports. And if it is these two players that we are looking at, then wow. We can get very excited about these two because they are fabulous footballers and will slot into Newcastle United, no problem at all. And this seems to be what we're doing now. We're looking at players who have that Champions League experience because, like Callum Wilson said yesterday, we've got one foot in the door now, and it's about finishing the job off and then concentrating on next season. And that's, for me, exactly what everybody is doing behind the scenes at Newcastle United right now. Eddie Howe, not so much. He's concentrating on getting this season all done and dusted and finished and making sure that we finish in the top four. But the likes of Darren Eales, Dan Ashworth behind the scenes will obviously be liaising with Eddie, but they'll be looking at this talent, at what we can bring in next season to strengthen the squad. I'm under no illusions that some of these players that we have in the squad right now are going to be leaving in the summer. I don't think that's even a question, is it? I mean, we know that's going to happen. Newcastle need to get rid of the dead wood, so to speak. We've talked about this for seasons and seasons, but this time around, I think the dead wood really needs to be shifted on. So for me, I'm very excited, again, with these kind of names. And yes, at the moment, they're only names. But like I said at the start, I'm only going to look at the names that have got legitimate sources and really good sources. And, it's vastly reported about the Newcastle scouts being at the Leipzig-Leverkusen game, in particular looking at these two players. Could they be looking at Diaby as well? Absolutely. Absolutely, because we know that Diaby's been on Newcastle's radar for quite some time now. So it very well be that they have an opportunity to watch the likes of Szoboszlai, Haidara, Diaby all in the one game. So even to be linked with these players is just fantastic for us. It really is. But like I say, it's not definite. We don't know if these players are going to come in until Newcastle announce who they're getting. Once they confirm it, we'll confirm it to you, but until then, we can certainly talk about these players, but I'm not going to go through every single player that's linked every day because that would just be ridiculous. They have to have some sort of decent source, and the scouts being in Leipzig is, it's reported vastly across many different sources. So very, very exciting. Now, the Premier League awards have been, the nominations have been announced for April. And, Newcastle are in there quite a few times, to be honest. Callum Wilson and Alexander Isak have both been nominated for Player of the Month. Now, normally we've been used with maybe Callum or certain players getting Goal of the Month or something like that. Certainly the goals that we've scored over the season. You look at the goals that Miggy scored before the World Cup and things like that. And but to have actually Player of the Month nominations, and two of them, both being our strikers, who, strangely enough, very rarely play full games together. Which is absolutely fantastic. And that just shows how well these guys are doing. Isak is such a versatile player, isn't he? He can move out to the left, as we've seen. Callum had a lot of doubters after the World Cup. He something wasn't quite right with Callum Wilson, and I don't think we'll ever know what that is. He has come out in quite a, I wouldn't say angry way, but a determined way to say, look, he knew about the doubters and he wanted to prove everybody wrong, including some of the Newcastle fans. So that would go for me and many others who said, is it the end for Callum? Have his injuries caught up with him? But the way he's playing lately, absolutely not. The competition from Isak has just driven him onto a next level. So to have both of them as Player of the Month is wonderful. Eddie Howe, of course, has been nominated for Manager of the Month. He's in there against Pep, etc., as he normally is, to be fair. So, listen, I don't think Eddie will be bothered one way or another if he wins Manager of the Month. I don't think he will. Eddie's got one thing on his mind at the minute, and that is getting Newcastle over the line for the Champions League. I don't see why, he would be worried about anything to do with Manager of the Month. We know it can be a curse sometimes as well, remember, but it's good to have him in there. And finally, Callum Wilson and Jacob Murphy both up for Goal of the Month, both at Everton. Now, of course, Jacob Murphy's was a tap-in. It's more Goal of the Month for the creation of it, which would put Isak in that bracket again. And, of course, Callum Wilson's fantastic curl around Jordan Pickford. So it's brilliant that we've got them in there. It's brilliant that we are getting recognised now for the monthly awards. Now, I'll touch on Garan Kuol just before I go into this what is a big club farce, if you ask me. That's what it is. Now, Garan Kuol is reportedly going back out on loan next season. Obviously, he's at Hearts. It hasn't really worked out for him, if we're brutally honest. I don't think Newcastle are particularly happy with the amount of games that he's getting at Hearts at the minute. Nothing's been said from the club, obviously, but they can't be happy, especially when Hearts, I think they won 6-1 the other week and they brought most of the subs on, but Kuol stayed on the bench. How does that work? I don't know. I don't know what's going on at Hearts. And, I did think at the time it was a good move for him. It would get him into British football. It would give him a wake-up call to what it's like. It's quite physical, but it just hasn't kind of worked. Now, reports are that next season he's going back out on loan again. Now, I would presume this would be to a championship side. I think that would be the next move for Kuol to get used to the English game, and probably the championship, one of the hardest leagues in the world. it would give him a brutal wake-up call, even to what it's like in Scotland. It is a very physical league, and I think Newcastle United would be very pleased to have him in there. But they have to make sure that when he goes out on loan that he has to play games. That is going to have to be a stipulation of the loan, that we need him to play games. Now, flip side of that is managers could turn around and say, well, he's not playing very well. I'm not going to risk our team's performances. But he needs to go somewhere where he's going to be one of the main players, one of the names on the team sheet, and go out there and do a job. And we'll see how he progresses next season. But you never know what's going to happen in the summer. He may start the pre-season and may look amazing, and Eddie Howe might just turn around and go, hang on, this guy's going nowhere. Let's just see what he's like. Now, finally, what is a big club? Now, many people have had a lot to say on this in the past, and is a big club, how many trophies they've won? Is it the size of the stadium? Is it the support? For me, I couldn't give a toss. There's people arguing on social media about what is a big club. Who gives a damn? For me, it's about what the club does in the present and in the future as to how big they are. You look back and yes, Nottingham Forest, for instance, won European titles and things like that. Does that make them a big club at present? No. For me, Nottingham Forest are not now a big club. They were, don't get me wrong, when they won the European Cup, etc. Of course they were. But are they a big club now? I wouldn't say so. Now, that's not being disrespectful to Nottingham Forest. That's just the way it's worked out over the last few seasons, the present time. Newcastle United, are they a big club because they've won trophies? Absolutely not. And me as a Newcastle fan will be the first to say it. We're not a big club when it comes to winning trophies. But are we a big club if you look at the stadium and the support we have? Absolutely we are. Absolutely. We can contest with any club in the UK, possibly around Europe, for the size of support that Newcastle United has. Manchester United, big club because of the trophies they've won. Liverpool, because of the trophies they've won. They've recently won the Premier League again. They've won the Champions League. So, of course it does. But why are people getting so uptight and arsey about what is a big club? Because it doesn't matter. If you support, Hartlepool United, and you think your club's, they're a bbig club because you support them, absolutely, good on you. Root for the team you support. Of course you're going to say, they're brilliant to support because that's who you support. But when you get fans arguing on social media about what is a big club, there's many different ways you could look at what is a big club. Trophies, support, size of the ground, all sorts of stuff. But does it really matter in this modern day who is a big club and who isn't? Because what you find is a lot of smaller clubs can go and beat the big clubs. So it does it really matter in this day and age who is a big club? Why people get so uptight about it, I'll never know. It's a joke. Just let it be. If you support a particular club, then go for it. Support that club. Why argue about, our club's bigger than yours? That's like saying when you were back at school, my dad's better than your dad. My dad's got a better job than your dad. And it's child play. So come on, guys. Let's not be bitching about who's the bigger club. And certainly for Newcastle fans, let's just concentrate on this fantastic ride that we're on. Who gives a toss if other fans don't think we're a big club? Because quite frankly, it doesn't bother me in the slightest. I know, being a Newcastle fan, how big we could be if we win loads of trophies and stuff like that. But we are a big club when it comes to support. But does it matter if a Man United or Everton fan says, we're a bigger club than you? Absolutely not. I couldn't give a toss. And you shouldn't either. Because what happens on the pitch, happens on the pitch. It doesn't matter. It's not important in this day and age, saying who's a big club, who's not. I've even heard radio programmes having this debate. It's ridiculous. It doesn't matter. But anyway, I just thought I'd give my 2 pennies worth there at the end of the video because I just think it's ludicrous. But there you go, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video again. Please do comment down below if you have something to say on all of this news today. As you know, I do read all the comments. And you'll know if I've read a comment because I'll put a heart next to it saying I've loved your comment. Thank you very much. So I do get through them all, but I'm very interested as to know what your opinions are of what news I give you. These are just reports and things like that I pick up and give it back to you guys. I've had a lot of positivity about these daily news shows, so thank you very much, and it will continue. But please do hit that like button if you have enjoyed the show today, and of course, if you're new, like I said at the start, please come and be part of this amazing community. Hit that subscribe button, free to do so. Help us get towards 20k. That would be a dream for us on this channel, it really would. So thank you so much in advance for that. Hit the bell, which will let you know when we go live or we upload any videos, and of course, hit that like button because it is very, very important. But thank you very much for watching, guys. We'll see you very soon. Take care.